How's everyone doing on this beautiful Wednesday? Good morning to everyone, or afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Alright, I'm going to inspect the hives today. So, the hive that I had over my shoulder, right about there, that hive, I came home from our vacation, and something was telling me to look over there and look at it. So I did, and they're bringing in pollen, like a lot of pollen. So I'm like, okay, she must be mated and been doing good. So I opened it up and I went inside and I took a look, and they were packed full. That frame, that last empty frame that they had no comb on or anything last week, was completely full, and it was full of nectar, and they had eggs, capped brood. I mean, they were just jamming in there. So I didn't want them to get too crowded. So what I did is I switched it out with a bigger box, and we let them, I filled it up that way and let them go with that. So they're doing good. That's the one that I believe I'm gonna bring to my dad's, because he wants a beehive over at his house. So I'm gonna bring it over there. So I know that queen's doing good. We're gonna go back and check on the Saskatraz bees. We are gonna see if she is mated and in there and doing well. She should be today. It's been over 10 days, so we'll see. Let's go take a look. And the other thing I should note that I haven't fed anything. It's been, well, since I took that one off over there, so it's just about 2 weeks. I haven't fed any hives. We've been gone for a weekend and then part of the 1 week, and so they have enough nectar flow, so I quit feeding, and I'm just keeping an eye on them, and if they need it, I'll add more to them. So these guys have the feeder on them here, but I'm gonna take it off. Well, I'm gonna see how they're doing. So let's dig into it and see how they're doing first. Okay, so they're not even drying this one out. Now remember, we saw the queen last time, so I need to find her again, and I need to see eggs. But if I see eggs and don't find her, that means one of the workers might be laying. Nothing on this one. A lot of propolis. Starting to draw this one out, just in that one little corner. So they're drying out this side, and they have this side capped. Oh, so this one's capped, but they have a queen cell, a cup over here. Swarm cup, but nothing's in it. See, another one capped. None but capped honey. So I'm just looking for the queen on here, and I'm not seeing her, but it's only drawn out on that side. And they got nectar on this side and starting to cap it, so. And then nothing on this one, or this one, so those are all empty. So we'll put this back together and go to the bottom. Didn't even draw this frame out yet. It's not looking good, I'll tell you that. I don't know what they got going on here. I do remember that she was a dark butt queen. This one is full of honey. Yep. Out of all the hives I have, this one has the most propolis, or propolis, however you want to say it, by far. It's crazy amounts. Okay, so there's empty spots and no eggs. And same with that side. No eggs, no larvae. You're making me nervous, girls. No eggs. No queen either though. Alright, hold on. We gotta... There's eggs. We've got eggs. Well, good sign. Woohoo! We got eggs, but I gotta find the queen. The eggs are centered. They're not touching the sidewalls. So it should be her, not a worker. But I'd rather see her to be sure. Some more eggs. Just not seeing her. A lot of pollen on this one. Packed full of pollen actually. Well, that one's solid honey, so I'm not even gonna check that one. She's gotta be on one of these two. Definitely not a worker laying it because the eggs are in the center and not off to the side. She was pretty easy to spot. She was darker than the rest of them. And she had a big booty. A lot of eggs in this one though. Alright, so I'm not gonna make them mad anymore. I'm gonna put it all back together. There's definitely a queen in here. I'll search for her for another day. Let these girls go back to doing their thing. I'm gonna check the hive right here that we did all the splits off of. I'm gonna see how they're doing and go from there. I'm not even gonna open up the big hive because they're doing well, and I'll show you that. So they're not even up here working it. They don't have nothing waxed or anything. So looks like we're going down, figure out what's going on. Oh. Look at that. Half capped. All nectar. They like those plastic frames, that's for sure, that I got from Man Lake. This one's all drawn out too, so that's nice. Alright girls, let me get in here. Let's see what's going on. Capped brood there. Some honey. More capped brood. Some honey. Cap brood and some more honey. Wow, this is a heavy frame. And that's all nectar and honey. Ugh. Wow, that's all capped honey. That's some brood and capped honey. They'll come up to the super when they're ready, I guess. I'm gonna take a bunch of this wax though and spread it all over up there. That'll definitely help. So I'm gonna leave it like that, and then we can look in the end window and see how they've been doing from week to week. That one's doing good. They have plenty of bees in there. I don't know why they're not coming up into the super, but we'll give them a little more time. They're starting to fill everything out, and they're gonna be honey bound if they don't do something, so I'm gonna have to watch it. Next week I'll have to go in there again and see if they're even attempting to do anything, and if they're not, I might have to just take that off and put it on another box, because I don't want them to go honey bound. That right there is why you always check your top cover. What if you'd have set that down? That queen would have been on the ground. I don't know if that's coming through or not, but that is a just hatched bee. Isn't that cool? How they're gold like that? Soft skin. Alright, so sorry, I gotta put you in the garage again. The weather's starting to turn for the worst, and you got a thunderstorm moving in. The camera, the battery was getting low, and I kind of just wanted to get out of there. When I went into that, the Saskatraz hive, the queen was on the top, and I get nervous, and so I kind of just, tapped her down so she'd go down to the bottom and let her go down, scraped off the top, and then I went in to make sure there was eggs and everything, and I know I saw her, I didn't have to go any farther. But I wanted to see how they're filling out and what they were doing in their hive, and they got honey down below, capped, and they're coming up the sides, and they came up in the middle, and she's laying in the middle. There's nothing else in the middle except for her eggs, and then a little bit of capped brood. So they're gonna be filling that out, so I'm gonna think about it and ponder it tonight. I might throw some syrup back on there just to get them going on that second box again and get them really in there. But at the same time, we have such a good nectar flow, I don't know if that would be even necessary. It was pretty cool. I hope it shows up in there. If it does, I'll put it in the audio right here. But the queen was piping, so that was pretty cool. So all the hives are doing good. Far as the bee weaver, I went in there, I didn't use the camera, I just peeked to the top to see how they're doing. I wanted to tell you guys earlier this week, I took a frame of brood, capped brood, out of the strong hive, and I put that in the bee weaver to help them out. I shook all the bees off, and I just placed that one frame in there so they'd help out and get more bees going in there and help them build a lot faster. And so when I peeked in there, they had 2 frames of undrawn comb or anything on both sides. So I'm gonna leave them alone. They're fine. They won't. They don't need any extra room yet, and they only had probably 4.5 frames, about 5 frames of honeybees. So they got some time yet, some work to do. So maybe next week we'll see how it all goes with this flow. And then I didn't find the queen in the Saskatraz, the main hive. So, and before when I found her, she was a longer queen. She was still not bred yet, but she was really dark butt and a long butt. So I didn't find her, and that made me worried. But I remember in class they said, don't worry, if you see eggs touching the sidewall, then you know you got, wind's really starting to pick up. If you have eggs touching the sidewall of the comb, then you know it's a worker bee, because their butt's not long enough to fit in the bottom to get in the center. So I know she's in there. It's a matter of time when I do find her. I think what I'm gonna do is actually look online and see if I can find some pens and marking. And when I do find her, I'm gonna mark her right away, so then it's easier to find them. And then the other hive that I have over here in the front yard, the other nuke, she came back and she is bred. She is doing fantastic. And next week I'll show you guys that. I'll go into that one. Being I don't want to go back in there. Being I was in there yesterday when we got back, so or the day before. So I just want to let her settle down, and then I'll be moving her in the next 2 days or a day to my dad's. So hopefully that all goes well. I'm gonna do that right away in the morning. So yeah, other than that, everything is doing pretty good. I'm pretty happy. For the first year, I'm liking this. It's pretty cool. I think I need a couple more hives though. I like going in the hives and looking at them once a week. It's kind of a zen. It's just cool. People that you know what I mean. If you have bees, it's a pretty cool experience. And then there's also a couple things I'm looking into to try that are new to the market. And you know, I might be just wasting my money too. I don't know, but I guess I can use it right off. Let's hope not. But I'm looking at different ideas and different ways of doing stuff and just trying out and seeing what it's like and let people know. I mean, this is my first time beekeeping, so how do I know, you know, the Flow Hive is terrible for a backyard but good for commercial, or bad for commercial and good for backyard? You know, it's on how, you know, people use it and what they do with it and everything else. So there's only one other company I found that used the Flow Hive for a commercial, and I've reached out to them and they haven't answered back. So as far as I know, all I see is backyard. But I know that I'm gonna grow my apiary. So if you guys like this content, why don't you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe down below, and don't be afraid to tell me if I'm doing something wrong, or if you have some ideas that I should try, or different things out there that I should try out. Because I think I'm just gonna have fun with this and keep trying it, but I'm gonna also, as I'm doing that, I'm gonna keep growing. I have the other part of my land is on the other side of the creek over there, and I'm gonna build a bunch of platforms, and I'm just gonna keep growing my apiary over there. And then I have already destinations. I've talked to people that I'm gonna place hives. So, all right, glad you guys see me again. Bye.